maybe I have been open about this. Have I talked about this?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Oh, we're about to get really about to learn something new about me. So I have dyslexia.
Hi.
Hi everybody. I'm Eden,
And I'm Jay.
and welcome to Eden XJ Unfiltered, the podcast where we have created a safe and sexy space to have unfiltered conversations.
We might be the same sex, but we have different opinions.
And we're back. We're super excited for this episode because the last episode we told everybody we're gonna talk about wedding bells.
And we are. But before we jump into that, it is Pride Month. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride! I feel like
Ow.
there needs to be like a yas, but it is
That's
Pride.
true. We don't. It's okay.
How are you feeling? Do you feel seen? Do you feel represented? Do you feel extra gay?
I feel extra gay this month, for sure. I don't know if I feel as seen as I did last year or the year before.
Ooh,
Tell me
explain. Tell me
more.
more.
Well, I feel like there are little things that I noticed, right? On
Mhm.
Instagram, for example, last year there was a ton of happy pride stickers, trans stickers, like pride,
Oh, like on Instagram?
yeah,
Oh,
on
on Instagram?
Instagram.
Oh,
Like when
gotcha,
you
gotcha.
posted stories, there were
Yeah,
like
there's like a little
stickers.
sticker.
Yeah, and there's none this year. Like absolutely none, which is a little scary because I feel like the way the US is going, it's kind of scaring these bigger
Yeah.
corporations to pick a side or to be vocal about supporting equal rights and LGBTQ plus in general.
I feel like we're in this very strange space, right? Like we built this amazing community online. We share our lives and we're just normal, right? I absolutely adore you. I love you from the moment I wake up, the moment I go to bed. And like that is our love story and we've shared it with the world, but we've also worked with brands. And so
Hmm.
we see kind of two sides to this spectrum.
Yeah.
And it hurts even more because as somebody who works with brands, we've worked with brands to your point in the past for Pride, and either those brands are not doing Pride anymore,
Yeah.
or social media looks and feels different between brands and their support for Pride. It definitely, I have to agree, like makes me nervous because there is such a big shift from last year to this year.
Yeah, it felt very inclusive last year, and
Mm-hmm.
this year it feels like everybody, especially after the Bud Light situation and the Target situation, the Dodgers
Target.
situation.
What the
I
heck,
feel like,
Target?
yeah, I feel like everybody's just like too scared to show any type of pride this year.
And it's interesting because like the people who are getting hurt and the people who are getting affected the most are the people who need the support the most.
Right.
And it just feels different and I'm not sure how everybody else is feeling right now, but just personally that's how we've noticed it, just kind of being in between these two worlds,
Yeah.
being somebody who is gay and shares, our livelihood and our content, but also somebody who works with brands. Like we feel it. We definitely feel it on this side.
Man, so much so that the audacity of this email, I'm not going to call them out, but there was a
Ooh,
brand
we getting
recently.
unfiltered. She's
That's
gonna
what it's
spill the
called. So I'm just
tea.
going to get it off my chest. There was a brand recently that reached out that's an alcoholic brand, and they wanted to hire us to make some content for them for
Mhm.
Pride. And in the email, they were like, yeah, we love you guys. We love what you're doing. We'd love to partner up.
Yeah.
And we're also going to donate, 10 or 15% of our proceeds this year to an
An LGBT
LGBTQ
nonprofit.
nonprofit. And we were like, great. This is exactly the type of brands that we want to work with specifically this
Mhm.
month. And we were like in the middle of signing the contract, and then they dropped a bombshell and they're like, oh, just for transparency, like we're gonna donate the
Mhm.
profits. We're just not gonna do it this month. We're gonna do it like sometime this year.
But they're not gonna give us also a confirmed date or time when
Yeah.
or if they're gonna do it.
Which
And
is like so many red flags that just popped up.
what? It really we were just like, okay, I feel like this email is honestly, like I don't know who I appreciate the transparency. I will start there. Thank you for being transparent that you were not going to be donating. But for us, we were like, we can't support this.
No way.
Like, absolutely not.
I don't care
It's
how big your tequila company is or how much money you're trying to pay us. Like we just
no, we're not going to do it. And we're not going to sign. And we're not going to work with you. And we're not going to have you leverage our community and the trust that we've built with our people and, just to sell your product. Like, if we don't personally believe in the product, you will not see it on our page.
Yeah.
And we stand by that. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at us. It doesn't matter. Like, we care so much about you all that it doesn't. Absolutely not. We cannot.
And
And
on that note,
Jay shared the tea from that email.
and on that note, today's outfit is brought to you
Oh,
by,
yeah, you gotta tell them what you're doing this month
for
too.
those that are watching, every week this month I'm gonna wear my favorite pride shirts. And today it's the one that I made when I used to have a clothing line back in the day.
Ooh.
I like my coffee like I like my men, nowhere near my
That's
vagina.
what the t-shirt says for those who are listening.
Yes, it's such a cool cut, and I always love to wear it during June. So I'm really excited.
And for those who don't know Jay does not drink coffee. She doesn't
No, that's
love
why.
she hates
I
coffee.
hate coffee.
So she hates coffee in
Not that I
general.
hate men.
Yeah.
Some men are cool.
But she doesn't like it near her vagina.
No, definitely not.
You've got quite a few cool pride shirts, so I'm excited to see like this
What I pull up,
consistency and like what you pull out.
stay tuned.
There's gonna be more.
Pride fashion with Jay.
I mean, this is like again, we have so many things to look forward to for Pride,
Yeah.
right? We're not gonna try to let stuff like this like get us down. It
No, not at all. I think if anything, this forces us to step it up
Oh
and be
yeah, go
more,
harder.
yeah, more present, more seen, and like be exactly what our community needs to see this year. And with that said, I mean, we're taking over LA Pride. We're
Mhm.
taking over their main stage next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eden,
Woo!
myself, and all of our friends are literally taking over the main stage. It's gonna be the queer perreo you've been dreaming of. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a vibe.
We have an hour and a half where we're taking over, so we're trying to figure out minute by minute
Yeah.
how are we gonna compact everything that is preciosa into this like tiny little section. So we're gonna go hard. It's gonna go fast. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, and there's a rumor that Bad Bunny might do a little performance on stage,
Oh.
full entourage and
I
everything.
don't know how you
So,
pulled those strings, but we're gonna you'll have to come and see.
yep.
I can't wait. I think I'm looking so forward to LA Pride because that's such an honor. Like
Yeah,
we
huge.
just got here. We're gonna be on this main stage with everybody, just
They're
celebrating.
expecting 40,000 people.
Oh man.
I don't know
Oh.
what that looks like. I'm probably gonna zone out, space out,
Pass out.
pass out, but it's gonna be a vibe.
We don't know what we're gonna wear. It's like, what do you wear knowing
Everybody's
that there's
probably
gonna
so
be
tired of that. They're like, y'all get it
get
together.
it together, get an outfit already, like ahead of time. So hopefully we figure it out. We don't wind up at the mall again
We
day of.
probably will, but that's okay. We're also doing July 1st. We just announced our
Yes, we
festival. We're doing our
are.
own Latinx Pride Festival. We pulled some strings
Yeah,
for that. Let
we
me
pulled
tell
a
you,
lot of
like
favors.
we're pulling an actual talent that performed at South by Southwest, Coachella, a ton
Mhm.
of local artists in LA, DJs. We're having vendors, art crafts.
Yeah, kids section, performances,
Hmm.
kids safe performances, don't worry.
We also got a water sponsor that's going to donate all the water for
Oh, it's a
the
good water.
events, and it's a good
It's a
water.
good water. You guys are gonna wanna drink this water for sure. We're partnering with a lot of different brands too to come and support and then have vendorship there. We are also asking you all if you have any recommendations for vendors. We have a couple of spots left that we want to open up to our community. So if you know somebody
Hmm.
who has a shop or a skill or anything, or if there's anybody out there that's very arts and craftsy, we would love to have you on the
Yep,
team
we
because
need
we
volunteers
need
more than
volunteers as
anything,
well.
just to make sure that everybody's safe. We wanna set up a crew that walks around, and if anybody has any questions or needs directions, they're
Yeah.
there to do just that. Or if they see anything, they
Mhm.
can let us know immediately, and we can
And
take
I'll
care of that
come for
situation.
them.
Don't
Don't
mess with
play
the
with me.
Gemini during Pride
The
Month.
full Gemini will come out and be like, "This is my event."
Yeah,
But what's also really cool about this is that it's free,
yeah.
right? It's free. All of our like June stuff that we're doing for all of Pride in the month of June is all free. No ticketed
Can we
events.
say that's another thing that bugs me for the month of June? And I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but I feel like the month of
I
June.
think there's shade being thrown.
I'm just speaking my truth. I think as a gay person, the month of June, we should like have free tickets to all of these events. We work too damn hard. We're underrepresented. We're underpaid.
Mhm.
And a lot of these tickets
Speak
for
on it.
Pride are so expensive.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of people can't afford $200-300 for a weekend of, like, celebrating who they are.
Girl, I can't afford to be gay right
That's what
now.
I mean, and so it was really important for us for the month of June
To put it on a credit card.
to put it on a credit card.
I'm too broke to be gay.
That should be
Like,
my
these
next shirt.
charges, these
Imma make
prices,
Imma make a shirt that says, "I'm too
too
broke
broke
to
to
be
be gay
gay
this month.
this month."
Honestly, like, some of these prices feel
A
homophobic.
little bit, yeah, for sure, and I think that's why this was so important to us, right? We
Free.
we only agreed to do free
Free.
events. We're not throwing our
Yeah.
regular rager,
Mhm.
and all of our parties, their price is very low.
Yeah,
Like,
for what
that's
you
the
get,
one thing that we
for
hear from
sure.
all of our audiences, like, the amount of production that goes into Preciosa Night, the
Mhm.
tickets should be triple that,
Yeah.
and we purposely don't do that because we're not here to gouge our
Mhm.
community, we're here to embrace them
Yeah.
and give them an experience that we all deserve, so I'm
Mhm.
really proud of us for pulling it off and doing LA
Somehow we
Pride
did.
and a whole ass free festival on July
I
1st.
don't know how we were able to pull it off, but it was really important for us to keep it free
Yeah.
and keep it for the community, and to open it up to all ages. So
Mhm.
that was really, really key. And I can't wait to see it all come together.
Mhm.
Right? It's a month away now. Oh my god,
Yeah,
less than a month away.
less than a month away.
Less than a month away. It's just an RSVP. Click the link in our bio wherever you are. If you go on our social media, Eat It Next Day or Preciosa Night, you can go in our bio and just RSVP.
Mhm.
It's that easy. Just put in
Mhm.
your email, and yeah, we can't wait to see you there. And tell a friend, tell your cousins, tell all the
Tell everyone, it's all
family, bring
ages.
everyone. And then definitely keep an eye out on our Preciosa Night page, because that's where we're going to be asking for vendors, for volunteers, for support, and all of
Yeah,
those things.
we're also gonna do this really cool thing that we're probably gonna announce sometime next
Ooh,
week.
tell me more.
Yeah, where we wanna do like a call to action and see if anybody is an artist or in a band or a poet or anybody
Oh,
that wants to
yeah.
be part of the stage. We want to do,
Yeah.
yeah, like,
We have 2 stages actually. We just opened up a second stage at the festival. It's gonna be a smaller stage, but it's still a really great opportunity. And so if you are a DJ or a musician, or, just want a shot at, putting your voice and your talent out there, like, again, keep an eye out for that announcement. We'd love to see what you got, and
yeah,
if it works out, we'd love to have you part of the team. And what's really great is that Jay and the vision for Preciosa has always been community first, and
yeah,
like uplifting the people who need it the most, and the people who don't get booked all the time. It's our Latina, DJs. It's our Latina queer DJs. They don't get as many
people of
bookings as
color,
everybody
period.
else. People of color. And what's really awesome is that Big J finds talent in the most wildest of places and puts them on the main stage. And
Right?
she's like, "Show me what you got." And they bring it. And we've been really proud to work with some people, that we never would have imagined working with.
Hmm.
And now we're working with big talent,
Huge.
huge talent that, just going from Coachella to now performing on our stage, that blows my mind. And I'm so proud. And I'm proud of what we've been able to
Hmm.
accomplish. And like, we've only been able to do this because of everybody here listening, right? And everybody liking and supporting and coming to our events.
Hmm.
So this is just a very long-winded way for me to say thank you, because we really appreciate it, and we can't wait to show everybody what we got July
Yes.
1st.
Yes. And somehow, right after that, we were planning a wedding.
Oh my Jesus. Whose idea was that? This is me being unfiltered and upset. I'm waving this flag because I'm like frustrated. Just because I don't know who was the crazy one who decided to do both things in the same
I
month.
think it was both of us.
I don't know what we were thinking. But here we are. This train has left the station, and we are all in.
Mhm.
Our wedding is less than 2 months away.
Yes.
And the crazy thing, the cutest, craziest, sweetest thing just happened to us actually
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them?
Yeah, it's funny. So, like, we've been doing a lot for our community the last
Yeah.
couple of months, and when we planned for our wedding, it was before we even thought Preciosa Night was going to take off and become its own entity and become this amazing grassroots movement.
We planned the wedding before we knew Preciosa was a thing, but we also planned the wedding before we got the information from the doctor that
About the
we're
baby.
gonna have to have our baby a year
Yes.
earlier than we anticipated.
Correct. So that moved everything up by a year.
A whole year. Our wedding was originally supposed to be 2024.
Right.
That was the plan.
And then Preciosa Night took off and everything just went crazy. Like it's been a good kind of crazy
Yeah.
for the last couple of months, but now we're a little under 2 months away. So
Mhm.
it's crunch time.
Mhm.
And now we really have to somehow juggle like our lives, our
We had to let some things go because I remember when we 2 years ago when we were talking about the wedding and like, okay, like maybe we can start working towards this plan. We had this vision for a bachelorette party,
Mhm.
which was like what was a gay Olympics, right?
Yes,
That's what you called
I wanted and I
it?
probably will try to do this at some point, but I
What
wanted
time, baby? What
I
time?
know. In my head, what I wanted was a gay Olympics as our
Mhm.
bachelorette
Bachelorette
party,
party.
where I take all my friends and I kidnap them for one whole weekend and we go to Palm Springs. We
But her
rent out
vision was like an actual kidnapping. Like we were gonna go
Yes.
to your house, like put a bag over your head, put you in the car, and then you were just gonna
Yes, I
like
love it.
hopefully wish for the best.
Yes, and we were gonna invite all of our friends and we were gonna get to this house, have this amazing weekend, and I was gonna split everybody into 2 groups, Team J and Team Eden. And we were gonna have an actual referee, an actual judges, and we were gonna have games the entire weekend. Like they can be mind games, they can be strategy, they can be like
Imagine like
bronze
Survivor,
and
but bachelorette party.
yes, and there was gonna be a trophy at the end of the weekend for the best team to win.
Mhm.
And there's gonna be a lot of drinking and a lot of games in general,
It
and
was gonna be epic because we were gonna do a mixture of things, right? Like some physical games, some mental games, some
yeah.
like how well do you know each other games. And
And I've had this thought in my head for, like, years. Like
the side note, I think the funniest one because we had to split people up into teams,
yeah.
right? Like Team Eden and Team J. And Jay and I are so competitive.
That's why it would have been amazing.
It would have gotten I don't it would have been war. Like, we would have gone so hard. I think friendships might have been lost because
Maybe,
we
but
would have
that's
been so
okay.
intense on them.
That's part of art and war, baby.
Love and war, we would have tested that real quick. But neither of us would have wanted to lose, and so we would push our friends, like, we have to win this," and, like, strategize and all those things.
Mhm.
And then we told we kind of told all of our friends about this idea, including Ernie.
Who's our bestie.
He's
Ernie, for those don't know, is our bestie.
yeah.
We met him during the pandemic. He moved in with us, became our roommate, and we just clicked immediately, and now we're besties.
Oh my gosh, he's family.
Yeah.
He's what we're gonna get into like what surprise happened, but we told Ernie, I was like, okay, you're gonna have to pick a team, Jay or Eden, and he's like, I refuse.
Yeah.
He was like, so, like King Solomon, like take the sword, cut the child in half. He's like, just cut me in half. Like I can't
Yeah, he's
choose
like, "Can I wear a jersey that just splits both colors, and then I could just be, like,
in the
in the
middle.
middle, and I can just run to whatever team needs help at the moment
And
during
we
the
were like, no,
challenge?"
Ernie, you have to pick a side. He's like, I'm gonna cut them in half and I'm gonna sew it together, and it's gonna be half Eden, half
Yeah.
Jay. So he refused to pick a side. But what was crazy is that we had this vision, right? We thought what our bachelorette party was gonna look like, what our wedding was gonna look like,
Mhm.
and what our bridal shower was gonna look like. And with everything we're doing for the community and Preciosa taking off, we were just like, you know what, like let's just let it go.
Yeah.
Like let's it was a nice vision and it was a nice dream. Unfortunately, we're not able to make it happen, and that's okay. Like we have to prioritize, right? And so this festival is taking up a lot of our time and a
Mm.
lot of our like mentals and physical space. And the other day, or a couple weeks ago, our friend Ernie, the same one who doesn't want to pick a side, told us book June 3rd, like off. Like you're busy,
Yeah.
don't plan anything.
Block it all
Block
out.
it all out. And we're like, "For what?" And he's like, "I'm not telling you. Just trust me. Block it out." And we blocked it out. Finally, the day came. I go down to the kitchen to go make coffee per
Well,
usual.
no, you should go back.
Oh.
So, I feel like he has been planning this for, like, more than a couple of weeks.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
going on for a minute, and he literally hit up our lash girl. Our lash girl ended up doing free lashes on us.
Oh, so we had no idea
That this was
what was happening.
right.
So like surprises kept happening throughout the day, which is what I was talking about. We went downstairs. I went downstairs to make coffee, and then all of a sudden, makeup artists, like our two really good friends who are
Mhm,
makeup artists, were there, and they're like, "We're gonna do your wedding makeup." They're also doing our
mhm,
makeup for our wedding. Cece, who's living in my shell on Instagram, and Bert, Beauty by Bert. She's doing Jay's makeup for the wedding,
mhm.
and so they're like, "We're gonna do your test makeup." And we're like, "Okay, this is amazing." Like, also you're in our kitchen. We had no idea.
Yeah, they told us a couple of days before that they were coming over, and it was interesting because we didn't think anything of it. We're like, "Oh, I guess this is what people do." Like, they probably do test
Test
runs for
runs all the
makeups at some point.
makes sense. That
Makes
yeah,
sense.
you
Y'all are
wanna
coming
test
over
it.
and wanna do it. Okay, we have time Saturday, which is the day that Ernie told us to reserve.
And we were like, "Perfect." I think we're probably just gonna end up going to brunch or something with Ernie, so
Yeah, he said
makeup
be there
sounds
at
great.
11:30.
Yeah, be there at 11:30 and just dress for, like, a nice brunch, and we're like, "Cool, we're probably having brunch."
Mhm.
And now our makeup's gonna be done, that's amazing, and so we're so tired that we weren't connecting the dots, and so we're like, "Yeah, that sounds amazing." And then the night before, our lash girl was wanting to test out this new glue that she had for her lashes, and so we went and we saw her and we got our lashes touched up, and I was like, "This glue seems great, like, I don't even notice a difference." She's like, "Oh, perfect, that's the
Yeah.
type of glue that I wanted," like, the response was, like, amazing, and she even took pictures of us, like,
I know,
on the
now thinking
wall.
back, she, like, really made us believe that she was testing out new glue, and she just wanted 2 models to come in and was like, "Just come and do it."
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, so what are your plans tomorrow?" I was like, "I don't know, I think Ernie's planning a brunch," and she kept asking all these questions, like, no idea. And so when our lashes were done, our makeup was done, we started to kind of feel like maybe this is a bit more of a fancier brunch than we anticipated.
Mhm.
And so our really good friends from Germany, Lydia and Jelani, were like, "Okay, we are your personal drivers. We're gonna
For the
drive you to
day.
this secret location, and we're gonna have to blindfold you."
Yes.
And I was like, "I just got my makeup done and my lashes, and you're gonna blindfold me? This better be worth it."
Yes.
And Jay's like, "Eden, go with it."
Yeah, I was like, "It's fine, just let them do their thing."
Mhm.
And Eden's such a sneak, like, she's a Gemini through and through. She wants to know where we're going, what we're doing, who's involved, like,
I don't
everything.
like
She
surprises.
hates
I need to know
surprises.
everything.
I think I've only surprised you once, maybe twice in our entire relationship.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because she ruins all of them, all surprises. She's not for her. But anyway, so they are driving us, and we're on the freeway, and we know we're going towards the valley. That's all we know. We're seeing Tarzana at different exits, and I'm like, okay, we're in the valley, and
Our friends are speaking German to each
yeah,
other, and I'm trying to Google translate some of these German words, and I'm not getting it. I was like
and they purposely didn't put the address in the GPS because it was displayed on the car, and they're like, nope, we're not doing that. Like, you don't know where we're going.
And then so we have the blindfolds on, we get to the location, and then I hear Ernie's voice, and he's like, "Hold on to the back of my shoulders. I'm gonna lead you through,
Yeah,
whatever wherever we are." And sure enough, I'm like walking, and I hear Jay go, "Ow!" and
because he didn't.
he wasn't paying
He wasn't
attention.
paying attention, and I ran into the door frame. So
I felt so
embarrassing.
bad, and I
No,
couldn't
it's
even
fine.
help you because I couldn't see anything.
Exactly.
I was like, "Ernie, you're supposed to be watch her and, watch us blindfold walking." And
Oh,
he's like,
that
"My bad, I'm sorry."
that was such an Ernie move. I
That was
loved it.
totally an Ernie move. And then we get there and the blindfold is off, and it's just, like, all of our closest friends, our chosen family out there, and we were so surprised because
Mhm.
so many people kept the secret.
All of them. Not one of them spilled it.
No.
Bravo. Bravo, everyone.
Well done.
Well done.
You
Yeah.
surprised me.
For sure, but it was so beautiful. He had his grandparents make all the food, so there was chilaquiles and eggs and
Yeah.
beans and the whole 9 yards. And then we did it at his aunt and
Yeah.
uncle's house. So they became the server and the bartender for the day, and
Mhm.
they had a full stocked bar, and there was fresh juices everywhere. And Amy made like the
Amy.
coolest dessert platter. She had like churro
Mhm.
cheesecake and conchas and all sorts of a full charcuterie board. It was beautiful.
It was perfect, and even Izzy so I guess Izzy was in charge of the photo booth, and so
Yes.
all the props on the table, it was like a mixture of pride things and then, gay men sex things, and then he said, "This is just what I had." Like,
For
I
those
did
that
my
don't
best,
know,
Tom.
Izzy is a gay man who is also Eden's best friend and has
Yeah.
been in your life for years.
Years. He was the first person I ever came out to, and so
Right.
he feels like a very proud, very gay mother.
Right.
He was very upset. He doesn't like the word upset, frustrated. I don't know. When we eloped and he wasn't there at the wedding, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Izzy, nobody was there at the wedding. That's why it was an elopement. That's the point."
Yes.
And then he's like, "I still should have been there." Like he was very distraught. So
But that's
us,
the same with my friend
your friends
Sin.
too.
Like specifically Sin.
Oh yeah.
Like Sin I've known since we were 15. She's one of my oldest friends. She's a single mom, one of the best moms I've ever seen in my life. And like we grew up together. So when I told her, hey, like I'm gonna elope with Eden, and she's like, okay, great. When is it? What time? And
Where do
I'm
I
like,
need to be?
no, I'm gonna elope with Eden. No
It
one
was
is
the pandemic,
invited.
we
It was during the
couldn't.
pandemic, and I was like, no one's invited. And she was so upset and so bothered by it. Rightfully so. I
Yeah.
think we've gone through a lot of shit together,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah.
15-year-old Jay is not who you're seeing right now
Mhm.
at all. And I think she's seen so many layers of me. And
Oh, yeah.
I think she's really happy for me to finally have met my
Oh,
like my person. So for her, it was a big deal to like
yeah.
be there. And I totally understand why it bothered her. But she's understanding and she's definitely gonna be at the wedding.
I remember that time. It was really hard. I think people thought it was easy for us to
No, it was
make the decision
difficult.
to not have anyone because one, it wasn't our decision. Like it was 2020, so it was a heavy pandemic. We were very lucky to not do it in the car because they were eloping people inside the car at that point. There would be a priest or somebody outside, like an officiant, and they'd be like, married, married, next car, married, married, next car. And I was like, no, I don't want to be in the car. Like, I want to get out. And so I think we could only have one witness, and we also wanted pictures or like some type of memorabilia for that moment.
Hmm.
And not having your best friend there and my best friend not being able to be there,
Right.
it was such a hard decision. And not that one we wanted. It was just it was during the time, and we had our photographer also be our witness, which I think was a lot to ask of a
Yes.
photographer. We're like,
Like, do you want to see pictures of us? But also, do you want to be our
sign this paper
officiant?
to know that we got married. And then he's like, honored, and yes, I'll take your picture.
Yeah.
And so I remember when we were laughing about it later, Sin was like, I could have held the camera. I could have taken pictures. And I was like, yes,
I hear you.
I hear you. We are super honored and excited to have everybody there this time around.
Yeah.
Now this feels real. Like we're getting married, everyone's getting emotional because everybody who wanted to be there originally finally I think feels like they're not missing out. Like they didn't
Yes.
miss it. And I was like, you guys didn't. We just are this is it. This is finally happening. We're
Hmm.
finally getting married and like having our ceremony with everybody. And it feels real. I saw like Izzy getting teary-eyed when I put the veil on, and he was just like, "It's, like, happening," you know?
Oh.
I was like, "Yeah, it is.
Oh
It's."
my God. I like, as soon as I walked in, I'm probably getting emotional now. As soon as
Aw.
I walked in, just seeing like Ernie's family like step up and really
Yeah.
welcome us and welcome our chosen family, like family.
Mhm.
Literally, like it just felt like what I wish my family was,
Yeah,
you know? And
same.
it was a lot of like just being proud of like the chosen family that we've made
Mhm.
too.
You're getting
Sorry.
teary-eyed. It's
Yeah, because it's a
okay.
lot.
It's okay. Talk about it. I'm this is your safe space.
Yeah, no, it's just a lot in a good way.
Yeah,
Like I think um I really felt loved yesterday.
you are loved.
Thanks.
You are very loved by so many people. You're gonna make me emotional.
Sorry.
I'm, like, trying to
Trying
fight it
not
back
to,
because we
yeah.
both can be great.
Sorry.
You are so loved. You are so loved by so many people, and I can see the moment, and I knew exactly when it was gonna hit you, is how happy Ernie's grandma was.
Yeah.
Like, she is the sweetest abuelita, and she just opened her arms and was like, "Felicidades!" And
Yeah.
then I was like,
I was like,
"Oh, no."
no, please don't. It's over.
I'm done. And the fact that they like cooked for us and like opened up their home, let us borrow their home, made
Yeah.
it beautiful.
Yeah.
It really felt like, and it's not even our family, but it didn't feel like it wasn't it felt like they were our family too. And it might not be the family that we were born into, but they're our family. And I'm so thankful that Ernie shared them with us and is sharing them with us for like the rest of our lives. And I'm so thankful for
Mhm.
that. And it just really goes to show you the family that you're born into isn't your only family. And this isn't a testament to that. And our chosen family is so
Mhm.
amazing. And when you call them, they're there. When
Mhm.
you need them, they're there. And I think what got emotional when I got emotional was like we do so much for everybody else that we don't think about ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
And for us, we're like, oh, we don't have time for a bridal shower. We don't have time to like plan it and all that stuff. So
Right.
like we're gonna let it go. And for our friends to like step up and plan this whole beautiful day to celebrate us and the decorations, the time, the energy, the effort. It was just incredible, and I feel
Mhm.
so lucky. I feel so lucky, and that is a choice. That is a chosen family that is choosing to step up, and none of our blood related family have offered to do anything like that, and I'm just so thankful for them. And the abuelita hug was like, ugh.
Yeah, it was over. It
It was
was totally over for me, but I feel like yeah, to your point, it was just to see and also I don't think we've had everyone under one room, you
yeah.
know? Like a good chunk of people that are attending the wedding were there and to see them all mesh well and hang out and get to know each other and have laughs and it just felt really nice.
It was a nice little glimpse of how
The wedding's gonna
wedding's
go.
gonna be,
Yeah.
and I brought it up to the group. I was like, "Hey, I just wanna let you guys know, we've actually decided not to do a seating chart for our wedding,"
Yes, that is true.
and they loved it. They're like, "Yeah, there isn't anybody who I don't wanna sit next to or don't feel like I need to sit
Mhm.
next to," and I was like, "I don't know, maybe that's like a different kind of people thing," but if you're invited to our wedding, there we shouldn't ever have to worry about this person can't sit next to that person. Like, we're all one big meshed family at this point for the
Yeah.
next, like, 72 hours. Get used to it and get to know people, and you were chosen for a reason, and we're honored to have all of you here, and I feel like people are gonna mix. It's gonna be musical chairs at a certain point. I feel people are gonna hop around, people are gonna, get drunk, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't
Yes,
wait.
so that happened yesterday. Thank you so much, Ernie, for making our day.
What
And
was your favorite part? I'm so curious.
favorite part of what yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh man, honestly, it was everything. I think it was playing games with you. I really loved the bridal shower games that we played. Like who knows Eden better and who
Oh.
knows Jay better, and the who's most likely to. And I really liked the piñata. Like that was such a like. Of course, there was a piñata. Like it makes total
Mhm.
sense.
The piñata game was really, really fun.
Hmm.
I leave it to Ernie because he did such an amazing job, and he gets, like, 80% of the way there, and so when I asked him, I was like, "Okay, so, like, when did the bridal game, like, start?" And he's like, "Bridal games?" He, like, looked at me in a panic. He's like, "Oh, no, like, I didn't know that you need games." I was like, "Yeah, it's a bridal shower. That's what you do." And then he's like, "I'll be right back." And then he starts Googling bridal shower games. And then he just starts, like, putting it together
I
really
love
quickly.
that though. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It was all perfect. It
It
was
was it
exactly
was
what it needed to
perfectly
be.
Ernie.
Yeah. And then also I think my other favorite moment was sitting in a circle like towards the end of the night and we
Mm,
were all just sharing stories and just like shooting the
yeah,
shit with everyone
yeah.
and just talking about life. I think that
Mhm.
was really cool too.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite moments too. I loved the whole experience, and I think there was the level of detail that everybody put into it.
Mhm.
Amy, when she showed us the charcuterie board, she was talking about all the things that she remembered. So the candy apples, the chamoy apples that I was obsessed with at Ernie's birthday, and I think I ate 10 of them by
Yeah,
myself.
you did.
So she made them from scratch, like in and she remembered that I loved them. And olives, because I'll always, if I'm, I like the green olives that are at the bar, and so sometimes I'll just ask for a little cup of green olive.
Yes.
I'm one of those guys. Like, either you're an olive person or you're not. And
I
mushroom,
am not.
you are not. And so she had the little bar olives, like, on the charcuterie
Mhm.
board and all these little details. And the one that made me laugh was she made sure there were no strawberries
On the board,
on
yeah.
the board because Jay's allergic to strawberries. And then the jam, she forgot, and that she had, strawberry jam for, like, the bread.
But it was
It
separated,
was
so it was
separated.
perfectly fine. You
It was
didn't
to
touch
it
anything.
was totally fine, but then she realized it was strawberry, and she waited, and you didn't catch this, but she waited for you to turn around. She grabbed it, and she threw it in the trash. Yeah, I was like, "No, you didn't have to, like, other people can eat strawberries." She's like, "I don't want it to get into the air, and, like, what if something." I was like, "Girl, it's not that serious."
I love her though.
Yeah, but it's
Amy's
the
like
love.
another one. We met Amy through Ernie.
Yes.
They worked near each other, or
Mhm, they used
yeah,
to
in the
work
same.
together.
Yeah, and they used to work together. And as soon as we met Amy, it was like a match. She was so thoughtful, so nice. Like
Yeah.
her aura is just incredible.
Well, because she's a Pisces
Well,
too.
I mean, Pisces are the best, but
Mhm.
yes, we are. Ask any Pisces. The point is
I
that
will not ask a Pisces if Pisces are the best.
she's
Anyways, not
she's
about that.
awesome. I love her, and she's just become such a sister to us. Like if I ever need anything, or just need to shoot the shit, or vent, or just
Mhm.
hang out, like I know she'll be there.
She's always there.
Yeah.
and she's just become a really big part of our family,
Yeah.
and I love our little makeshift family. It's the best. It's the
Mhm.
best, like, quilted pieces of people that I don't even know how we got so lucky.
I
I
don't either, but I feel like we won the lottery, and I'm
I do too.
really happy to do this. And if anything, I think yesterday gave us a glimpse of, like, to your point, what the wedding's going to be like.
Mhm.
And we actually leave to Oaxaca on June 14th or 15th, something like that,
Mhm.
to continue doing our plans for the wedding since it's creeping up on us. We still don't have wedding dresses.
Oh my god.
Shocker.
Oh, we don't have wedding
We're less than
dresses.
2 months away. We don't have wedding dresses. So
Nope.
that's probably like the biggest thing on our list right now is trying to figure out outfits. Everyone, like 99% of our guests are all have their outfits ready to go
Mhm.
because on our website, like we built this. I'm so proud of our wedding website. It has a whole ass Pinterest board of like the vibe that you should bring,
Oh, yeah,
the
you
colors that
very
you
well thought
should
out.
wear. Like I made it so easy, super easy.
It's like, here's the vibe, and then you did it for all different shapes and
Yeah,
sizes and genders and gender bending, and people got the vibe. It's like Mexico City meets the Met Gala.
yeah, that's the
Like,
vibe.
come prepared to slay, and that's all you want. You just want to see all your friends slay on this day, and that's gonna be the vibe, and I feel like we got a nice little taste of it because everyone looked beautiful at yesterday's
Yes.
party, and so I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait. It's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait to see
fun."
them.
But we are, like, the last ones to, like, have something to
Mhm.
wear. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit stressed.
I think we'll figure it out. I told Eden when we land in
Aw,
Oaxaca.
it's our
Oh,
wedding website.
I
It's
love
almost there. Look at it.
it.
54 days, 11 hours,
I do
1 minute.
not.
Oh,
Take
man.
that away. I don't want to, I don't want to be reminded
Aw, that
how
looks
many days. But
beautiful.
yes, so we're really excited. Look at that. It's gonna be
Oh,
a
we did a
vibe.
really good plan.
I know it has our love story, like everything.
Oh, this is actually a really cool website. So if you're looking on our YouTube right now, like, you can actually see how we planned everything out, and it's like getting there, once you get there, where you should stay,
Hmm.
our registry, where actually that's actually really, really good
We've
question.
been getting bombarded with a ton of DMs of people that love us and follow has have been following our journey and they want to buy us a wedding gift.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to put our wedding registry on our bio,
Yeah.
and if anybody wants to buy us a gift, more than happy to receive that, but not obligated. I
Not
just feel
obligated
like
whatsoever. If you do wanna send us something for the wedding, for, us, we'll put the link on there. I think when you take a look at that, you'll probably see, "Hmm, Jay definitely added this to the list," or, "I could see Eden adding this to the list." But we'll definitely add it in there for you guys, and, yeah, I think we're getting closer. Clearly 54 days, 1 minute, and away.
I'm so scared.
Oh, man, I we're coming down to the T. We
Yeah, I
are
know.
coming down to the wire, and we don't have dresses, so I think our next plan of action is to start making dress appointments
Yeah,
because
immediately.
it's not that we're not finding things. I think we don't 100% know what we
Want
want
to wear.
because we haven't tried on dresses, right? And
No.
so we both have very different styles, different body shapes, and so we're looking at models and we're like, maybe this dress can work, maybe not. And I think we're scared to pull a trigger because it's such an important
Well, yeah, yeah,
thing.
and I think you're right. I think we need to go to someone told me that David's Bridal is going out of business and we should start there
Okay,
and
I think
just
it's a good
hit them
idea
up
too.
and go on a dress. And I'm sure our friends would love to come with us
Yeah.
to dress shopping.
And even if we don't find anything, I think
It would just
it
be
would be
fun.
fun.
It would
Yeah.
just be fun to do with our friends.
I,
So,
I think just trying to figure out what we like, I think it's a good start.
what are you most excited for at the wedding?
Me, the most excited. I think what I'm most excited for the wedding is like you and hearing your vows
Oh
because I feel like
man.
you've been hyping them.
I'm already crying now.
Oh
I don't
man,
even know if I'm going to get through my vows, but I will try really hard.
I'm excited to hear your vows, and I'm nervous because I feel like your vows are going to be so great, and there's a lot of pressure.
Side note, Eden, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but she doesn't write letters. It's not her thing. She doesn't write anything down. She won't give me a card like for our Valentine's or our anniversary. It's like the one thing that I always ask her. I don't care about the gift. I just want like the little card, but it's not her thing.
Okay, for context, y'all, I've been open about this. or maybe I have been open about this. And have I talked about this?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Oh, we're about to get really about to learn something new about me. So I have dyslexia. I've had dyslexia since I was a little kid, and reading and writing have always been a challenge for me. And I feel like I've always had to work very, very hard to try to get this under control. And, uh, if you ever see typos on our stuff, it's probably me because like,
On our stories.
the words and the letters just go backwards or they're mixed up, or I swear I've read it 1,000 times and it looks correct, and then Jay will be like, "It's backwards," or like the wrong the letter's in the wrong spot, and I'm like, "God damn," because my brain doesn't see it the
Mm.
way everybody else does. And I've battled with this since I was really young, and I've just kind of lived with it, and I've done some training, and I've gotten a lot better. But why I don't like writing on cards is because when you write, you typically write in like a pen or something. So when I write, I mess up the words because I'm nervous, and so my dyslexia like really kind of kicks in, and you'll just see me write and then a scribble and then right above, and then it just looks so ugly to
I
me.
love it though.
There was
I
one time I had to dox
y-
an entire card because I made so many
literally.
mistakes, and I was like, "Never again."
But like for me, I love that. When she gives me a card and there's like a scratch or like she's crossed something out. I love that. You're putting effort and you're
Aw.
like writing your feelings and whether it's misspelled or not, like I still know what you mean and it just means a lot to me.
I will work on
You
that.
don't have to. I'm not trying to force you.
No, I know. I think it's just an insecurity or something that I've been, working with, and I don't want people who are dyslexic out there. I don't want people to feel ashamed because I'm not ashamed. I'm
You're
like,
a boss.
"Oh, thank you."
I promise you nobody would have even noticed. Like
Yeah.
you're such a boss. That doesn't your disability doesn't define you.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I get in my head a little bit
Yeah.
about it because I get sensitive, and I just try to own it and own the space, and it's just something that I'm going to keep working on and keep moving forward and not get so in my head because you do deserve cards. It's not like I don't want to write you a
I know.
card. I I just feel like, oh, I just wish I could get it right, the first time, and
Yeah.
and then I'm like, "Oh, but writing in a pencil, does it, like, look the same?" And you still see the erase
Yeah,
marks,
which is
and
funny because we've been going so I'm a pretty decent writer. I love
Yeah, she's a
writing.
great writer.
And like I told her, I'm like, you have to write your own vows. You know that, right? Like it's fine if you type them up or write them or we can wheat paste them and you can make a collage, like whatever you need to do to get your vows out.
'Cause I
But they
asked her if I can have somebody proof my
yeah,
vows.
she's like,
Can I hire a
can
writer?
I hire a writer to write my vows? And I was like, no,
Not
that is
write them,
not
but, like, proof them.
no, she's gonna have them write them or like fluff them in their own words, but they're not your words. And I'm like
I mean,
not
but
for
they are
it.
my words, but they're just fluffier. Okay,
We'll see
okay.
how this. Yeah, maybe throw them in Chat GPT.
I
That might
mean,
help you. That's probably what she's gonna do.
I would never that's a great idea. I would never, consider it, maybe.
My point is, I'm really excited for that. Like, I think that's gonna be great to see your.
I'm excited for the vows. It's gonna be really cool to, have my dad there too at the wedding. And I realized, because my dad's walking me down the aisle, I completely messed up yesterday, and I feel so bad
What happened?
because I
Oh
spilled
my
the
God!
beans,
Yes, you
which
spilled the
I didn't
beans.
know, he didn't know.
Yeah, I've been planning with Sin. Okay, let me backtrack. So, my best friend that I've had since we were 15, single mother, she has a son. He's turning 18
Yeah.
this year, and I went with him to get his first shots when he was born. Like that's how long I've been in his life. And Sin and I have lived in many, many apartments together in our early
Yeah.
20s and he was like my child. Like we would just he was just there. I was always with him.
Yeah.
I was a big gamer in my early 20s and he would just love to spend time in my room because I was like I had all the fun stuff, like the games and
Of
the arcade
course.
stuff and it was like his la la land. It was perfect and I loved hanging out with him. I would introduce him to music. I've always been a kid at heart. So
Yeah,
it was
I
very
could
easy
see
for
it.
me to connect with him and just have like these cool moments. And the way that Sin would allow him to just be in my world knowing that I was gay and like
Mhm.
very different lifestyle. Like he's so open and he's always she's just such a good mom to
Yeah.
exposing him to all these different lifestyles. And
He's loved you no matter what.
yeah, he did never solve that as a thing. He's just always been like, "That's Jay," like, "That's
Mhm.
Daddy Jay." Like, that's
Aw.
always been, like, my title. So,
Daddy
yeah,
J.
I was talking to Eden, and I had asked my friend Sin, like, "Hey, I really want him to walk me down the aisle.
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be so cool. I love him. He's such a big part of my life, and I think it would just be such a cool experience."
And I thought, for whatever reason, I thought she had already asked him.
No, we haven't had a second, and so I was planning on, like,
Ah,
coming
I
over
feel
with, like, a
so bad.
card and, like, formally asking him.
Not the card with like the you're
Card
right.
and, like,
I
maybe a bouquet
know.
of flowers or, like, something, and
But also what time? Like we were
well,
running
I
out
was
of
gonna do
time.
it. I was literally talking to Sid. I was literally asking her, like, "When are you guys available?" Because I also wanna take him suit shopping, like, I want it
Yeah.
to be a whole thing. And yesterday, when we were at the
Mhm.
at the table having our food,
Because he's not a social person.
yeah, he's a
He
little bit of an introvert.
he's like kind of socially awkward and doesn't like attention. So I think I asked, I was like, "Oh, are
Are
you
you excited?
excited about walking down the aisle or something like that?" And he looked at me kind of confused, and then you looked at me, you're like, "I haven't asked him yet." And I was like, "Oh no." I did the thing. I'm sorry.
But in the mouth.
Yeah, but in the instantly, I was like, "Can we just pretend like this just didn't
Yeah,
happen?"
and
And
then
then Jay was like, "Well, now I have to
yeah,
ask."
well, I looked at Sin, and Sin and I looked at each other, and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm gonna ask you right now
And
across the table.
from in front of
No
everyone.
card in hand, nothing."
It was still a beautiful space.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
tried my best. But
Eh,
he said yes, he was honored.
he was very honored. He was like, "Yeah, of course." Like, he's such a 18-year-old. He's like, "That'd be cool."
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. And I was like, "See, yay, we did
Thanks,
it."
babe.
You're welcome. And he's excited, and so he's gonna walk you down. You're gonna go suit shopping,
Yes,
and it's gonna be
it's gonna be
fun.
great.
What are you looking forward to most for the wedding?
I think I'm such a big friends like, I love hanging out with people that I love.
Yeah.
Like, over gifts, over cake, over everything, for me, it's just making core memories with the
Mhm.
people that I love.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be anything extravagant. It's just like, doesn't matter what we're doing as long as I'm doing it with the people that I love.
Mhm.
And then the fact that we're all gonna be under one roof together for
Mhm.
like 8 hours and just dancing and celebrating and drinking and having memories. That to me is really fun.
Watching our US family, like, connect with the Oaxacan
Yeah,
family,
it's
I'm
gonna be
really
fun.
excited about that.
Yeah, Eden has family in Oaxaca, and
That's your family too now.
yes, they've adopted me for sure. I talk to them, I text them way more than Eden does.
Oh,
And yeah,
man.
I
I'm a
love
bad
them, and I
texter.
think it's really cool to blend those two families, right? We're
Mhm.
bringing the US family to meet the Oaxacan family, and it's just gonna be a vibe.
I can't wait,
It
and I
is.
can't wait to show you all. Somebody asked if we were gonna live stream it. Don't know yet. I could see why it would be really nice to have everybody be a part of this moment.
We can take a vote
Yeah, maybe we'll take a
if
vote.
y'all want us to live stream it. Let us know
Yeah,
in
and
the
we'll try to figure out how to
comments,
make it happen.
and we'll make it happen. Yeah.
And, the muertos table. I think
Yes, you should tell them about that.
the muertos table, if you haven't caught it in a previous episode, something that I'm really, really looking forward to bringing to our wedding is having a spirit table. So those who aren't there physically, but who are there in spirit are actually gonna have their own table, and I made that very, high priority with our wedding planner. Like, I know we're doing all these tables for our friends, but I really want us to focus on the spirit table, and we've offered it up to our friends
Hmm.
to bring a picture of somebody who has passed, and if you want to bring them and invite them to the spirit table, and they can come and celebrate with,
Hmm.
your grandmother who has passed and my mom who has passed, and that table is going to be spiritually lit, and it's going to be so
Yeah.
fun.
I heard a couple of friends yesterday talking about how excited they are that they're going to bring their grandma or
Yeah.
their tia or whoever
Has passed.
has passed that they would like to be there.
And they felt very honored that they were going to be a part of the wedding too. And I was like, of course, like they're still here, but like if there's anything that you have taught me in handling and moving through my grief is making them feel alive.
Yeah.
Just because they're not here doesn't mean that they're not alive in us, and that was just a very special idea to make them feel alive in the moment with us. And
Mm.
so I'm super thankful for that.
Of course.
And thankful for you. And we're doing this. We're finally doing this. Like a
I
whole
know.
freaking 3 years later.
3 years later and a baby on the way.
And a baby. The next step is baby. That's
Yeah, right after
wild.
that, we are planning on starting our baby journey come October. Maybe end of September, October is when I would like to be pregnant if
Mhm.
everything goes well, fingers crossed. And
Is
that's
there
a whole new journey there.
is there anything you're nervous about before we go into baby mode?
Nervous about. I think for me, it's gonna be like, how are we gonna continue to throw these parties when when I'm pregnant? But other than that, no. I think it's really strange. I've always wanted to be a parent, and then now that we're here, I think I'm just more eager to get started than anything else.
Yeah, you are super ready. You're
I've
really
been ready.
excited.
I'm really not scared. If anything, I feel certain. Like I
Mhm.
feel certain this is the journey that I want to do, and I want to bring kids into this world with you, and I just want to be a good mom. Like I think
Aw,
more than anything. So.
me too. I think there was something where I caught myself yesterday when I was talking with Sin and, your friends who are moms, and I think I feel I don't know, like, I feel sometimes awkward when people are doing these really nice things for us, and they were asking, "What do you want on the registry?" No, really, like, what do you want? Like,
Hmm.
so there's so many great things, but, like, I wanna make sure I get you something you really, really want. I was like, "Anything, anything on there." And I was talking about I think what I'm struggling with the dress is that my mind is basically in baby mode right now, and I can't justify spending, like,
Mm.
$8,000 on a dress when I know our babies are gonna need snooze
Yeah.
and bassinets and bottles and all these things. And your friend Sin stopped me and she's like, you need to be in this moment now because you're only going to have this once. You're only going to get married this one time. And, kids are going to take up a time and space in your life. Don't rush it. And all those things will come at a baby shower.
Yeah. She's
And
not wrong.
we're gonna tell you what you need and what you don't need, and guess what she said we don't need? Wipe warmers.
She did say that.
She
She
also
did
said
say
you do
that.
not need wipe warmers. Thank you, Sullivan. Wipe warmers were
Yeah.
a
She's
waste
like,
of
I'll tell you
money.
what's a waste of money.
Wipe warmers,
Wipe
I
warmers. We're
died.
not getting you that.
I literally died in the moment. I was like, "Uh-huh, yep, you got it." I hear you, no wipe warmers.
Yeah.
But it's that, I feel so amazing that they did this bridal shower, like, I don't know, I
Mm.
felt so strange, like, thinking, like, we're gonna have a baby shower and people are gonna be there to, like, help us and celebrate us, and
I love that Sin said that though,
oh,
because
she
it's
did, she
true. It
put
was
me in
like
my
a check.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Checked you real
Checked
quick.
you real quick. Like this is about our wedding. So what do you want on that
Yeah.
registry?
Mhm.
Versus like thinking about the baby. And
Yeah.
you're right. I think that I feel a little weird spending X amount of money on a wedding dress, but at the same time, it's like our wedding.
That's
So
true.
just do what makes sense and what's within our budget and reasonable, but
Yeah,
also what you want.
that's true. Like, it's all about making us happy, and I think she's also like, "Do not rob me from my day too," because this is also, like, the wedding that they've been looking forward to the most, and we
Forever.
were showing them some dress ideas that were kind of, like, cheap, and they were affordable, and they were like, no."
They literally turned down all our dresses. They're like,
Yeah,
no, too basic, too
too
this, too
basic.
that. We're like, dang, really? These are the best that we've got so far.
That we found online. So, we're back to the drawing board.
Yes. So if anybody has any plugs on dresses, wedding dresses, let us know. We need all the help we can get. We're cutting it real close.
Super close. And we're just like, one more time, want to say happy Pride Month, you guys, gals, theys, thems, all the people.
She's gays and nays.
She's gays and theys. We just, we really it's so important for us to be who we are now more than ever, to be proud of who we are. We're going to keep waving this flag and shining as bright as we freaking can and not, hide away in no matter if, brands support us or not. Like, we're going to still be us and we're going to still,
Tell our story.
tell our story and love the way we love and still fight to make safe spaces and make spaces for us in our community.
Hmm.
And we love you all and thank you for being a part of our
Do you want
special
to do a
day.
card or are you done?
Ooh, we can do a card.
Maybe one?
Yeah, let's do it.
We always end it on a card.
Oh, I pulled the last one.
Okay, fine. I got it. I got it. Make it a good
It's like I
one.
pulled a spicy card last time.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, you got two cards.
this one's deeper. I'm taking it.
Ooh.
All right. What's an area about me that you'd like to learn more about or have questions around?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's so much pressure. An area I would like to learn more about is honestly like I we think so different.
Mhm.
So I think I would like to learn more about how I can be a better communicator for you to help us understand each other more.
Mm.
Because I think sometimes, and that's just being honest, like I communicate in a way that doesn't make sense to you.
Mhm.
And it's hard for me sometimes to see your perspective because you communicate so differently than I do. And like, I want to learn more about how I can communicate in a way that makes sense to you. And
Mhm.
like, I can effectively, get my point across, or we can work together on this thing and I, can say what I need to say and it makes sense. And I think I'm so curious about how your mind works because it is different than mine, and that's a good thing, right? I don't want to. We're not the same person.
Mhm.
We're opposites for a reason. We have different opinions. We have different thoughts. We have different styles, and I love that. But I'm such a naturally curious person, and so understanding the way your brain works and just I'm always trying to find ways I can improve, right? Like I never want to be stagnant. I never feel like I am the perfect and best partner I can be for you and this is it. Like take it or leave it. Like I always want to keep evolving and I want to keep growing. And I'm so curious about how your brain works. And I've learned over the years like some things that work and some
Yeah.
things that don't work and I still want to explore more of that with you because I don't know everything about you.
I will say, like, I admire the way that your brain works and how you process things because you're very literal. Like, you're very like you can car
Car- I know what you're trying to say. Compartmentalize?
yeah, is it like you can separate things.
Compartmentalize.
Thank you.
Compartmentalize. Yes, thank
Thank you,
you.
Solomon. That you can do that, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like my brain doesn't work that way. Like sometimes I can be reactive, and sometimes I react on emotion.
Yeah, you're more emotion based and
A
I'm
very
logic.
emotional, and I think like I admire that about you. And I
Mm,
think in this relationship, I've been trying to figure out how I can be more that and less like emotional.
emotion.
Yeah.
I think that's our disconnect, right? Because I'm like, remove emotion. Like, if we're trying to communicate, if I'm trying to communicate something, I'm not communicating from an emotional place. I'm communicating from a logical
Right.
place. And so I think understanding emotions and how they look to you and how they work with you
Mm-hmm.
will help me be a better communicator. And so I think just digging deeper on how emotions work with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're a Pisces and you're
That's
super
why
empathic and
I
you
can't help it.
you feel emotion deep. You feel
Yeah.
emotion hard and that's just something that is a disconnect for me.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. It just is taking me a lot longer to understand how it works with you. And I would love to explore that more about you for sure.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Wow.
What?
Wow, thank you. I'm not cold, you guys. I swear. I have wow. I have feelings too, you guys.
I love that answer. Thank you. What area about me? What's an area about me that you'd like to learn more about? Honestly, this episode um made me want to learn more about your insecurities. I feel
Oh,
like I know that having dyslexia was is like an insecurity, but I'd like to figure out how I can help you with that because
mm,
I think you're perfect, and I think that just working on that would probably help your self-esteem and your confidence overall, and just learn about what exactly are your insecurities. I don't
yeah.
think I've like analyzed that or have broken that down completely.
I've never like brought this up to you, but the other day you made a comment. You were talking to one of our friends, and you made a comment how when we do get scripts, when we have to like
Hmm.
a recording gig or something like that, like, man, they can just give Eden a script and she can look at it and have it memorized and she's ready to
It's
go. And
true.
it's like, da 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 da. She can just like run off of it really quickly. And I'm great at what I was thinking but didn't say is that I, I, I see what you're trying to do. You're like, I admire Eden's ability to like memorize very quickly or be on. But I've had to do that as a defense for dyslexia
Hmm.
because whenever I would get called on class to like read a chapter in the book or read out loud, I would jump, 10 steps ahead to read that, memorize it, and move my eyes to make it look like I was reading, even though I had already memorized it. Because reading out loud, I knew I would probably mix up the words or mix up the
Mm.
letters because my dyslexia is triggered by my anxiety. And so being called on in front of everybody, I got really great at memorizing fast. And that's just because reading out loud,
Mhm.
I don't want to run the risk of reading something wrong. And I went to school for journalism, and I would show up 3 or 4 hours early before I had a segment and memorize my scripts and pretend like I was reading the teleprompter
Damn.
just to kind of not cheat the system, but not let my insecurity to get the best of
Yeah.
me. And so, I mean, I'm an open book. I can share all my insecurities with
I
you.
think we need to talk more about insecurities.
Oh,
That's what that card in this episode made me realize.
aw. But you make me feel like they're not, like, insecurities, or I shouldn't be insecure about them. Like, you turn something that, was something I felt like was hard for me into, like, a superpower. You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I admire you are able to memorize something so quickly."
I can't do that. Honestly, like if there's a brand that gives us a script and we have to read or there's something that we have to do, it takes me forever. I get anxiety just reading the script and having to like do it, because
You have feelings.
I'm not an actor by any means. And it's like I think that's one of my insecurities. Like I'm like, dang, like Eden can just like take the script and just like, okay, she's got it. And I can't do that. I need to like drink water,
Mhm.
lock myself in the bathroom, read this for
Pace.
myself, pace back and forth, and then I'm like maybe ready.
We're just different,
Yeah,
and that's
I love
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we will see you next Thursday.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.